Welcome to the pre-test training for test administrators. This section of the training provides detailed instructions regarding situations that may arise during the Ames administration. To ensure that you are in compliance with the Arizona Department of Education testing procedures, it's imperative that you seek guidance from your test coordinator as special circumstances arise. When situations arise that are not immediately familiar, you should review the test administration directions. If the directions do not definitively resolve the situation, contact your test coordinator immediately. This is a Tolleson Union High School District PD squared training. If test materials become contaminated with blood, vomit, or other bodily fluids, you must contact your test coordinator for instructions. Under normal circumstances, the test coordinator will ask you to transfer student responses to a clean answer document and then securely destroy the contaminated test materials. It is essential that you monitor the contaminated materials until they are securely destroyed, or until the contaminated test materials are transferred to the test coordinator. In the event that a student has an injury, the Arizona Department of Education has identified the following allowable standard accommodations. Answers transferred from a test book into an answer document. Record or dictate multiple choice responses to a scribe. Use assistive technology with spell check, grammar check, and PredictEd functions must be turned off. Please note that all responses must be transferred to the student answer document. Students who disrupt testing, use electronic devices, refuse to participate, receive help from others, or otherwise engage in behaviors not consistent with acceptable classroom behaviors should be subject to disciplinary procedures established by the school for such occurrences after completion of the test. Whenever possible, the disruptive or misbehaving student should be allowed to continue testing in a different location so that other students may test undisrupted. If the student is believed to have participated in cheating, contact the test coordinator for guidance. The Arizona Department of Education recommends that the student's parents or guardians receive written notice of the incidents and its consequences. In response to a disruptive student or student suspected of cheating, test administrators must remove any inappropriate resources, cell phone, calculators, etc., or stop the disruption. Allow students to continue testing in a different location if appropriate. Document as many details as possible concerning the incident. Notify the test coordinator of the incident. If an emergency event occurs that requires students to exit the testing room, such as a fire drill, the test administrator must maintain possession of the test materials until the emergency is over or until the documents are appropriately transferred to the test coordinator. The procedures for securing the tests are the same as the aforementioned instructions for test security when students finish testing. Please note, in an emergency event that has the real potential for immediate danger, the safety of students and staff is your first consideration. Students may not have access to electronic devices, including cell phones, from the time they enter the testing room until dismissed from the testing environment. Test administrators who observe students using unacceptable resources, including but not limited to computers, calculators, cell phones, and portable music players, are to remove the unacceptable resources as soon as possible. The students must be allowed to continue to test. After testing is complete, the district test coordinator must notify the Arizona Department of Education of a possible testing violation, including electronic devices. The Arizona Department of Education will determine if a testing violation results in a testing invalidation. The dispatch contains instructions provided by the test coordinator for reporting this type of testing violation. Students may only use authorized curricular supports, such as those previously described in preparing testing rooms. Prohibited mathematics resources include manipulatives, charts, calculators, and aids, including but not limited to a ruler, number line, compass, and an abacus. Students may not use scratch or extra paper on any part of the AIMS content exams. However, scratch paper is required on the mathematics portion of Stanford 10. Testing incidents that should be sent to the test coordinator for review would include, but are not limited to, possible cheating, inappropriate accommodations, administration errors, electronic devices, and unacceptable resources. Your test coordinator provides specific reporting procedures in the dispatch. All test administrators must read and be familiar with testing accommodations. Accommodations are changes in the presentation, response, setting, and timing, scheduling of educational activities. There should be a direct connection between a student's disability, special education need, or language need, and the accommodations provided to the student during educational activities, including assessments. Finally, accommodations provided to students are limited to those listed in the test accommodations guidelines. According to the Arizona Department of Education, it is the responsibility of the test administrator to ensure that students who qualify for testing accommodations receive the accommodations and to monitor the accommodations so that other students are not affected. When students need accommodations in how they learn or demonstrate learning, they are likely to need accommodations in how they are assessed. Conversely, if students do not need accommodations in how they learn or demonstrate learning, they will not need accommodations in how they are assessed. Therefore, no accommodations may be in place for an assessment that is not already used regularly in the classroom. To determine if a student will need testing accommodations to participate in AIMS, answer the following questions. Does the student use accommodations during daily instruction? If the student uses accommodations during daily instruction, does the student need accommodations in order to participate in the state assessment? If so, which testing accommodations are necessary and appropriate for the student? Students who receive standard accommodations must have their accommodations appropriately identified in Section K of the demographic data grid on the answer document. This must be completed after testing by the test administrator who witnessed the use of the testing accommodations or who actually provided the testing accommodation. Students who use certain standard accommodations must have their responses transferred to a standard answer document. Student responses that are not transferred into a standard answer document will not be scored. Read the test administration directions for specific guidance on documenting standard accommodations and transferring student responses. Thank you for participating in this training. Please submit your signed security agreement and the completed pre-test video guide to the test coordinator. Upon submission of the required documents, you will receive the certificate documenting the recertification hours awarded for this